It's October 18th, 2019.
This is Nerd Bourbon episode 124. I'm Seth Sturgill.
And I'm Todd Sturgill.
Oh, Todd.
I feel like it's been a lifetime since we last talked.
It has. The last time we actually spoke outside of our daily Snapchats
was probably the podcast, actually.
May well have been last week's episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks for me. So, I've been very, very busy. The only good thing that has been happening to me lately is the fact that it's finally starting to cool down here in the Louisiana hellscape. Finally starting to get down into like the 50s, starting to feel like fall.
Oh, it's funny is like that's where it is for me right now. It's in like in the 50s and shit, and I love it.
I love
that's
it.
Like that's my ideal weather. Like here's like my look when I go to work has not changed since like the entire time. Like I still go to work with like the same setup, no jacket, nothing. Who gives a shit? And everybody's like bundled up and shit, and they're like, "Oh, you ain't cold?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not."
I was at my parents' house last night. There is another, I don't know what this one's called. I think it's called like the Jewish like Feast of Tabernacle or something like that. I swear to God, every Jewish holiday is like a feast. It's always a feast. So we've been going over there and having like dinner to celebrate that with my family. We were outside. So a big part of this festival is you're supposed to have it in what's called a sukkah, which is like a outside like pagoda, like a tent kind of thing.
Yeah. I think I saw pictures of it on Facebook.
Yeah, so lately it's been rainy, so we haven't been able to have it outside, but last night it was not, so we were able to have it outside. I'm not going to lie, once the sun went down, it dropped down to like the low 40s, and I was like, I kind of would have liked to bring like a hoodie or something with a little jacket. It's a little nipply out.
All I'm hearing is you a pussy.
It's a little. It was just strange. I haven't felt this. I mean, it's either it's getting a little nipply, or I'm getting closer to the sweet embrace, the cold chill of death. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, again, that's my ideal weather, man. Like fall is like my ideal shit.
I love it. Well, this is why fall is my favorite holiday. Or season rather.
It is. I don't care about anything other than the weather of fall.
I love it.
The weather is my favorite.
I love it visually too. I like the changing leaves and stuff. And
God, you're lame. No,
it's great. It's great.
Pumpkin spice piece of shit.
I love my pumpkin spice. Oh man, I'm in heaven right now.
I feel like should we just plug your fucking tea and honey?
It's funny. We have been on my other podcast that I do with my wife every Wednesday, Tea and Honey, a positivity podcast. We have been talking about fall topics lately.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's funny that you should mention that. Anyway,
I'll get that plug in early. No,
go ahead and get that plug in. Anyway, Todd, been a very busy week. I have not been playing much, and moreover, there's not really been much in the way of news this week either.
Yeah.
This is going to be a weird episode. Maybe it may fall a little bit on the shorter side. I hope that's okay with everybody. It's going to be kind of a wing it episode. So, yeah, we're just kind of winging it this week. There's no notes. There's no plans. There's no really news to speak of. There are a couple of little things that I thought about talking about, but it was at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Nothing major. So I was like, you know what? Let's just fucking wing it. I haven't really been playing much, but I know that you have. So what, pray tell, have you been playing this week, Todd?
Cue the music.
Oh, no! Sometimes you start with it. Sometimes you, like, sneak it in.
I know. But no. Cue the music.
No lube this week?
No. We're just jumping right into it. So I'm honest, I had to, like, double check to see what the fuck I talked about in the last week.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
So now, I think the last week I essentially was building up to Ape Boy.
Right, I think that's correct.
So now I have fought Ape Boy.
Yes.
And we can talk about it. Rajang has come. And he's
pissed.
Something. Yeah. So here's the thing with him. He's an interesting fight. So he's a returning monster. So like most people, most like veterans of the game kind of like knew the deal, like what to expect from him. I definitely didn't, because the man is fast. Like fighting him solo would have probably pissed me off. So that's why I didn't do it. I feel like I could do it. I just didn't want to. So I ended up squatting up. And that is the only thing in my mind that kind of keeps it somewhat tolerable for until I actually, because I think now if I did it, because I fought him a couple times now, I kind of see how he does it. But the first time, wasn't too sure of his moveset, wasn't sure of a lot of like what he was going to throw at me. So having like 4 people to get all the to split up that aggro a little bit,
right?
It's not good. The man does throw hands.
Oh, I'm sure.
He throws hands, does like fucking energy waves. It's good shit. It is good shit. He's probably the most fun fight in the game at this point. Like, he's just fun.
Well, do you mean that because he's actually challenging?
Maybe. Maybe. And it's weird for me because now I've kind of hit that point where I'm like kind of slowing down on Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I could play it, but it's like I've kind of done everything that I really care to do. I got my augments. I don't really see myself using any other weapons now. So now I'm just like, now I'm slowly but surely like getting up to Master Rank 99. Because I know Tyler actually passed me up at this point in Master Rank.
Oh, did he? He's been playing a bunch?
Well, yeah, because again, sometimes I don't even really play games when I get home. I just kind of like chill.
Yeah.
Yeah, he passed me up, and I think he's in like Master Rank 100s now. And like those, and I'm at like 84, 85 or some shit. I just don't really care. Like, am I still playing the game? Yeah, but I've definitely like slowed down on it since it's gonna get to the point now where it's gonna be like, hey, update or a new event.
Right,
I'll jump on and check it out.
Yeah,
I'm kind of hit that stride with it again, which is cool. I'm happy I'd like to be at that point. So it's not like Monster Hunter talk is still going to exist, but it's going to be very, very, very small. There might be little. Sometimes there might be a week where it's not a segment, you know.
Well, thank goodness for that.
Right. Thank goodness for this piece of shit. But yeah, other than that, it's like that's really all I've been doing. Like, I've kind of like I will say this: the Rajang weapons are great.
Okay.
They are great. They're actually the same. They didn't fuck with those weapon designs. They just simply like updated them for the most part. So you're basically the charge blade is great. It is essentially like your sword or his horns.
So wait, your sword is one of his horns, or like
both of them?
Okay,
both of them.
Cool.
It's good shit. It's very good shit. Thing is, I'm like I made the charge blade, but I know I'm not going to use it because I just don't really care to use it. Mm-hmm. It's like an elemental one, but it's like very, very light elemental. It's like I'd rather it be elementless to actually use it, but it's whatever.
I gotcha.
At that point, it's like his other weapons are like pretty solid. Like it's like the great sword is like one of those, like, think about the giant, like, I think it's Japanese. It might be Chinese. That giant, like, fucking club. Like the Asian weapon. That, like, giant club-ass thing with the spikes.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah. It's basically that.
Nice.
It's solid. I love beating. I definitely made that. I like beating the shit out of people with a club.
Very nice.
Yeah. That's something I need to actually upgrade again. But it's like, certain things, it's like I've kind of hit that point in the game where I'm just like, oh, I got my augments, got my build, kind of good.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that after how many, dozens and dozens of hours you've spent.
It's near 800, I won't lie to you.
Yeah, so.
It's very, very near to 800. And I'm kind of good, kind of like putting a little pause on Monster Hunter for a little bit and like occasionally jumping on when I'm bored. Where I kind of got to like a while back.
Right.
But I kind of hit that point again because it's like, it is what it is. So that is the end of Monster Hunter Talk, and there may not be one next week. But let's move on to some other shit that I've been playing. What else have I been?
It does kind of work out because at this point, Call of Duty's right around the corner.
Yes, yeah, yeah. So, and that's actually something I do plan on doing a playthrough of for the channel.
Oh, cool.
For the YouTube channel, I do plan on playing through the campaign. And probably what those are probably going to be, what I plan on doing is probably like every mission will be an episode.
Okay.
probably won't be that long. Probably like
Yeah,
fucking
nothing wrong with
10
that.
missions, 10, 14 missions or some shit like that.
Call of Duty campaigns are typically brief.
Yeah, so I'm
So-
like, I kind of want to fly through that, kind of have fun with that. And then, yeah, that'll be the next game I'm really playing some Call of Duty. But yeah, other than that, I'm trying to think what else I've been playing because it's just been a fucking blur. Oh, yeah. I fucked with, re-downloaded, no, I didn't re-download, I put in my copy of it as Black Ops 4. I was fucking with Blackout.
Oh, that's right. You're telling me about that.
Yeah, I was fucking with Blackout with my one of my good friends, Ronald.
Yeah, because Ronald was just like, let's just play all these random battle royale modes.
That's essentially what it was. And it's funny is like playing Blackout, and also I've played now Firestorm for the first time as well.
In Battlefield 5, right?
Yes, Battlefield 5. And I'm telling you right now, it's like I'd just rather play Apex.
Right.
It's like because this kind of I think I brought this up like in a Snapchat to you. It's like battle royales is an afterthought. Just don't play as good. Don't play as well. Like as like games that are basically built from the ground up as like a battle royale.
I really just view
You know?
Apex as being just like so far above and beyond what any of these other battle royales are doing.
I mean, the only one that's like comparable is like fucking Fortnite, and I just don't give a shit about Fortnite.
That's my thing too, because there's that big thing going on with Fortnite with like Chapter 2 or whatever starting.
Yeah, that's a big old thing,
And
and
that's
it's like
huge, and
that's cool. It's cool,
thought
but I
about-
just don't. Yeah,
I thought about bringing that to the show this week and talking about it, but I was like, that'd be very disingenuous of me because I don't know shit.
because
about Fortnite.
I just don't give a shit about Fortnite.
Yeah.
I'm just too far gone on it. But Apex is something I really do love. That's a fun game. I play it occasionally. Like I still play that game occasionally. It's like I'm not playing the shit out of it, but I'll still like jump on randomly. But
So have they changed? You said you were playing Blackout. Have they done anything different to it since like the last time we played?
not really, dude. Like maybe some new items or something, but other than that, it's like the same thing. Kind of still runs like shit.
So they're not really supporting it
Like
much.
the game like doesn't like the dude. It's just like it's not doesn't run well. It just doesn't run well compared to like Apex. It's just annoying to play. And then
You mean from like a technical perspective, like
dude, yeah, it just looks like shit, dude.
Yeah.
It looks like shit. It just looks like shit. Kind of runs like shit.
That's funny you should say. I don't remember it running badly, but it's been so long.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just comparing it to like Apex that runs pretty smoothly.
Apex is very smooth, yeah.
So, and then you have it's like I had some fun with it. We were kind of like fucking around. And then we jumped on Firestorm in Battlefield 5. Yeah, no.
It's not good.
So here's the deal. It's set up to where you can only do squads. So and it's also set up to where like if you don't matchmake, you'll just go into it like with your 2 people against squads of 4.
Oh, okay, I see.
Oh my god!
So wait, they don't fill
dude.
it in with other match-made players?
If you you can easily fuck that up to where like you can like skip that and it'll just go into with just you and your buddy,
Yeah.
and it's not good. Just getting booty blasted by full squats,
Jesus.
and also just the time to kill in that is just like rough. It's fucking rough.
Like it's low.
Oh, dude, dude, I shot a whole clip into somebody. They didn't die.
Damn.
I'm like, oh fuck this. Like it's just not good, honestly. Like I think Battlefield, it's a cool idea. Like I thought, like in high, like I feel like if they made a battle royale game from like the ground up, it'd probably be good. But it's just I don't know. I respect some of the shit they do with like you can jump into vehicles and shit.
Yeah, I
that's
was actually
cool.
gonna ask. I was like, so did they do anything anything that's actually different?
Not really. Other than there's like vehicles, and then there's also you can capture points.
Uh-huh.
You can capture points, and that gives you a like a bunch of supplies. That's kind of like the main thing I noticed. And other than that, no, just battle royale.
I see.
Other than that, I'm just like, don't really care.
And they took too long to release that shit too.
Yeah, that's real shit. Honestly, it's amazed. I was amazed that I ended up playing it because it was just the only reason I even ended up playing is because Ronald again messaged me. He's like, "You got Battlefield 5?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do."
That was the thing that was a shame because even like when we played Battlefield 5 and like we were both really looking forward to it, and even like, I mean, shit, I liked the game.
Yeah,
and
it died early on.
Yeah,
and I guess people are playing it again, finally playing it again a little bit because I'm able to get into some games. They added some like cool shit. They've added actually some new weapons. They've added these anti-tank rifles.
Okay.
That are basically one-shot kill snipers.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Oh, it's pretty good, dude. It's real good. The only reason I kind of I like them but hate them at the same time because you legitimately have to be prone or crouched to zoom in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're sitting there just like no scoping motherfuckers, and it's a one-shot weapon, so you shoot, gotta like pop in another bullet, shoot. So there's a lot of it's high risk, high reward sort of thing.
Right.
Because like if you fucking miss close range, you're fucked. You're definitely fucked. And I don't know. It's all right. It's like I've had some fun fucking around with Battlefield, but I just like it's kind of where I'm at with video games right now. Just kind of I've kind of hit that. Yeah, I'm kind of back to the dead zone where I'm like, we got I need a crumb of new game. But then the other thing I've played is Shadowfall in Apex.
Right.
And it's all right. It's all right. Like it's fun. Definitely, I feel like they could definitely rework it and it'd be even better. But
so for those that don't know, just describe what it is. So Shadowfall's Apex's Halloween event.
Yes, Shadowfall is Halloween as Apex's Halloween event. You can get like if you want to spend a sweet money or play the shit out of it, you can get some really good Halloween skins, which they actually are pretty good.
Yeah.
The Halloween skins are actually pretty solid.
Yeah, it was funny because my wife is a big Apex fan. You guys actually played together. Yeah. And like she actually the next morning after you guys played, she was like, "So, I mean, Apex is free. Do you think it'd be okay if I actually like spent some money on it?" Like she actually now wants to spend money on it for the first time.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. So
let her have some.
That's what I told
cosmetics.
her. I was like, yeah, I mean, go for it.
Yeah, because some of those Halloween skins are solid. Like they're actually really solid. But yeah, so Shadowfall is Infection meets Battle Royale, and that is actually my main problem with it. I wish it was just pure Infection,
right,
instead of a little bit of Battle Royale mixed in. So how it starts is you start out, you can't squad up in it. You are solo queuing into Shadowfall, and you are in a nighttime version of Kings Canyon, which is the original map,
right?
But it's all Halloweenified. It's at nighttime. There's like fucking creepy bullshit.
I noticed
around.
that because I was watching her play, and like inside there's like red candles and shit.
Candles and shit. And then actually, if you open supply boxes, a spider might pop up. Like a spider actually pops out of it.
Spooky.
And dude, let me tell you right now, bro. The first time it scared the shit out of me because I thought it was going to attack me, and I was like ready to fight and shit. And actually, Anastasia didn't see this, but I told her about it. Is you can open it up and there's like a fucking corpse, and it just starts moving and shit. So I don't know if it actually gets up or something, but because I killed it too quick.
Yeah.
It's like, don't you dare, don't you try to fuck with me like that. So how it starts is it is essentially it's actually only like 35 people.
Right.
It's 35 people going to like this nighttime Kings Canyon, and it essentially starts out as Battle Royale. So as soon as the first person dies, that person becomes a shadow, and that's when the infection begins. And as a shadow, you are you have no abilities, but you move faster, jump higher. Shit, you can basically run up walls. It's fucking great. You obviously do more melee damage. Like your melee damage is so great because here's the thing: as a shadow, you can't open doors normally.
Yeah, you have to like punch them, right?
Yes, and I'm gonna be honest, that shit is satisfying as fuck. Just like going around just beating the shit out of the doors to open them.
Yeah.
I know for a fact I made some dude shit himself. Because like this dude, That was this little tangent, but this guy was like in this corner. I see him. I'm staring at him through the fucking window, just looking at him. He doesn't notice me. So there's a door. There's a door in front of him that I could open, but there's also the door behind him that he's not looking at.
Oh God.
So I fucking do that one. Fucking drop that shit, dude. He couldn't even react fast enough because I was just in there just going fucking monkey ape shit on him.
You created a true Halloween experience for him.
Exactly. It was great. It's fun, and it's a lot of fun. So the whole point of it is you get to the last 10 legends, and after that, those 10 legends are put into a squad, and they have to make it to the drop ship to escape.
Right.
Little reminiscent of Titanfall.
Titanfall, right?
Yeah, and I think that's where Anastasia's problem with it is, because she wishes that it was more cooperative like the entire time, and I don't not agree with that. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of wish it was kind of like that too. But here's the thing: I don't know if she got to the point, like at the time that I was playing with her, she never made it to the top 10. Oh,
she has been.
Okay, that's
good. Like I was watching her play last night, and she made it to the top.
Because at the time we were playing, she didn't, and she actually didn't know that the last 10 were squatted up like that.
Oh yeah.
Because I told her, I'm the one who told her about that. She's like, oh, and it's like because I think that was one of her main things, because she didn't get to that point yet to where you actually are like working together. I think she just wishes like you should work together the entire time.
Well,
and like she actively tries to do it, but it's just like no.
Yeah, I mean that's the way happening. It's set up is like they want you to play Infection, but then they also want you to play Apex as well.
That's the problem with it. That is my only problem with it. Other than that, I think it's a fun experience. I think if they do some shit like this next year or something, do it a little differently. Make it actually like an actual Infection mode.
A few minor tweaks, yeah.
Yeah, just some minor tweaks. Other than that, it was pretty solid. I'm trying to think of like anything else I've been playing in this fucking like blur of my life. I'm gonna be honest, like I just watch my weeks go by.
I've been a helpless victim of the past couple weeks of my life. I'm just beat my ass.
I'm sitting there yesterday. When you were like messaging me yesterday. I'm like getting ready to like record and shit, and like I'm just listening to your Snapchats, and I'm just like I'm like, oh, we're not recording today.
Mm-hmm. Well,
it's like every snap, my hope dies.
It's like I'm just sitting there with my arms like wide open, just embracing the ass beating.
I was like, God damn it, dude.
Just fuck me up. Just fuck me up. It's like, swear to God, like I had like shit going, like family shit going on that I've been busy with. Fucking in between work and like all the other like stuff I do, like the podcasts and D&D and this, it's a holiday, like I said, right now. So I've been having to, my life the past few days has been work, pick up my wife, go straight there, spend the rest of my night there, go to sleep, and then rinse and repeat. And that's been the past 4 days of my life. So yeah, video games have not fit in. Anastasia was telling me about you guys playing Apex, and I was like, what's a video game?
You're funny as
like, what is that?
Even though you definitely knew about us playing that shit.
Yeah, no, I was just it's been a foreign concept to me here lately. But I did, it's funny because I did buy, like, PSN has got a holiday, like a Halloween sale.
You know what's funny is I didn't even talk about this, is like the bullshit with my Blizzard account.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Fucking annoyed the shit out of me.
Yeah, because we're trying to play WoW Classic. And you're like, I went ahead and reinstated my account and no issues, and then you reinstated yours. Yeah.
Well, so now here's the thing. I go in first. I'm gonna go install it. I'm gonna go install WoW Classic, which I could install it. Then it's like to go play it. It's like I looked up. I'm like on my regular like WoW 1 US or some shit.
Yeah.
And it's like locked. I'm like, what? Fuck do you mean locked?
Did they give you an explanation? Was it like a hack sort of thing?
It's. I guess my shit got compromised in 2018.
Right.
That's all I really got. I didn't really like give a shit. Like I got the email about it to where it was like unlocked, and I'm like, all right, cool. So that's actually something. You know what I need. You know what I need to see.
What
is if I have my characters?
Yeah. Well,
I haven't jumped on.
You know, it's funny. So like when I back in the day playing WoW, like I got hacked several times before they came out with like the authenticator that they now have.
Yeah, because I do have an authenticator. Like that's whatever. Like I had that set up. I actually reset that up because I used to have it a while back, and I just turned it off.
They introduced that I think in the Wrath days, but even before then, like back in like the Burning Crusade days and the Vanilla days, like I had my account hacked probably 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's funny is I feel like I know when I got hacked. I just didn't think anything of it. I didn't even give a shit.
Didn't care at the time.
I just didn't give a fuck. I was like, what are you gonna do?
Well, it's funny because they will like I was in the email correspondence with them trying to get my account back, and they're like, hey, like just so you know, we can't guarantee that any of your items will be back or anything like that, but at least your character is still there and all the stats and all that shit. So like I got back onto like my warlock at the time, which was the main character I was leveling, and it was being used, I guess, as like a gold farming thing.
Did you just have a shit ton of
So
gold?
yeah, I just had like fucking like 20,000 gold. Like all of my gear was gone, which annoyed me, but I had like a shit ton of gold sitting on my account.
It's a
So
kind of a win.
it was all right, but I mean, like a lot of the gear that I had was stuff that I had like been working for and stuff like that.
Yeah, like yeah, it sucks.
But I mean, it was nice to just be like, oh, okay. There's a little bit of a consolation prize at the end of this, but yeah, now they have the authenticator and it's like a non-issue.
So it wasn't anything serious, but I was like snapping you about it because I'm like sitting there like trying all like because it's like a lot of when your WoW account's logged, you can just log in and it'd be fine. Try to do that, nothing. I'm like, ah, fuck me, just gonna make a fucking ticket real quick.
Yeah,
piece of shits. Like, it was seamless. Like it was just like I basically did it like I don't know what day that was, but it's like the next day I basically got the email saying I was good.
Nice.
So it was. Should annoyed the fuck out of me.
So
but I am definitely looking forward to playing some WoW Classic. That might not be a whole series, but you will get videos of that.
Yeah, I think we're just going to pop in and do like a few videos here and there chronicling some of our play sessions, but I don't think it's going to be like an ongoing, because here's the deal. When you level a character in WoW, hundreds of hours.
Yeah, that's like, that's not going to be, I don't want to sit there and record all that shit.
Yeah, but every now and then we'll pop in, you'll be skipping around in the timeline. So this is actually something funny I wanted to talk about. I know you just named your character just like your gamer tag, basically.
Did you know that? Oh yeah, you did see that. Yeah, I just did not give a fuck, dude. You know what it was? I wanted to think of a good name, but I'm like,
thinking of names in WoW is just like the fucking, just the index of my anxiety. Like if there is a hell, I imagine my personal hell would just be sitting at a keyboard trying to come up with WoW names.
I still say my favorite name of any of my characters is my paladin.
The Judgment.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
Yeah, but I sit there and I try to think of like these funny or clever names or whatever, and like they're always taken, or like it's so fucking frustrating. Like
because you know what it is. You're really just not that creative. No,
I care too much. It's just like Papa Roach said. My weakness is that I care too much.
Oh Lord. God.
So like,
don't you dare bring up Papa Roach in my presence.
Please. That was something that like I saw like maybe within the past few months. I was like walking somewhere and I saw like a burnt CD, which I forgot that that was a thing.
Fucking
CD burning, like what? And it just had on there, it just said like Papa Roach written in permanent marker. It was just laying on the street.
God no.
Anyway, I'm sitting here because I wanted to make a side character play. I came up with my Tauren's name relatively easily. I mean, I had a little bit of resistance because I was just going to do legendary like my other Tauren druid back in the day.
Yeah. Was it taken?
It was taken. And then like I came up with
Well, here's the thing. I'm hoping we're on the right. What server are we playing on?
it's the
Is it Windseeker?
yes, Windseeker.
Okay, good. Okay, I was hoping I was on the right fucking one.
Yeah, and so I got that all set up and everything. My Tauren's name is Earthbound.
Oh, nice. Actually,
it's which is a couple of things because I the way I came to that is because I was gonna name him something like I was like, oh, what would like a hippie, like idiot druid name himself, and like I was like, I came to Earthbound because of that Earthbound Trading Company place. Have you ever been to that place?
no.
It's like a store that's in like a bunch of malls, and it's just like, the most hippie bullshit store. Like they have like fucking incense burning, and it's like, come buy our
Lord.
crystals and our hemp shit,
Buy our hemp shit.
And yeah, so I named him Earthbound. Earthbound also happens to be one of the names of my favorite games, so it's like, fuck it.
Yeah, well, it works out, man. It's a solid
But
name.
my mage, so I wanted to make a side character to play just solo whenever you're not on, and I was like, okay, so what kind of character class could I make that would be beneficial for us when Todd isn't on? I'm playing solo, and I have a lot of nostalgia for the undead because my main character has always been an undead.
Yes.
From 15 years ago, I still have this character to this day. His name's Necritic, and he's an undead rogue, and I've had this character literally for 15 plus years. So I have a lot of nostalgia with the undead. And so I was like, I want to make an undead character. I'm going to make a mage. That way I can have like the enchanted bags and all that bullshit and the tailoring for us and stuff. That'll be cool. But I'm sitting here trying so desperately. I must have typed in, no exaggeration, I must have gone through like 100 names.
Oh, God.
And I could not find anything. Finally, today, something that I tried went through. And I now have an undead mage named Frosty Fries. Because she's.
I feel like your last fucking one had a dumb name.
They always have dumb names.
What was the dumb? What was the other one on your old account? On your on the not the WoW Classic shit.
All my characters have dumb names. It's a major part of making your character. It's this name is going to be tied to your character's identity for forever. So I get like so much anxiety about it, So yeah, all my characters have dumb names. It was funny 'cause actually the last time we played WoW, we made goblins, and I made a goblin hunter, and the name Deadshot wasn't taken.
Oh yeah, you did get Deadshot.
I was like, what? So yeah, I have a goblin hunter named Deadshot.
I forgot we made goblins, dude. Yeah, I think I had a goblin warrior, actually.
Yeah. So we only got to like level like 12 with them or something like that, but
and I made her hot.
The breaking news, Todd says goblins are hot.
I don't care.
I don't care. I got that goblin fetish. I don't care. It's like that fucking Alex Jones clip. Like, you're caught in bed with a goblin or whatever the fuck is it. Goblin vomit.
That was pretty solid Alex Jones impression.
Well, thanks. That's the first time I've ever attempted to sound like Alex Jones. There's somebody on one of the podcasts I listen to does a bit with Alex Jones where they have him saying like things from Lord of the Rings. He does a good Alex Jones impression. He has him so the Mines of Moria and shit like that. It's pretty good. Anyway.
Fuck. I feel like I need to look that shit up. I need to see
Tangents notwithstanding. I feel like what we should do, we haven't brought out a topic in a while from the vault. And here we are on the precipice. We're desperate. We have no news to speak of. We're dry, Todd. We're dry. Neither of us really been playing any games. So I mean, we've gone on for a little while, but let's end the show this week busting out a topic from the vault. You have no idea what I'm about to throw at you.
I don't.
So I'm gonna throw something at you.
My asshole's quivering.
A little bit of surprise butt sex for you.
Oh.
What is the worst part of your favorite game?
Ooh, fuck.
I like this topic idea because we all have those games where it's like, okay, I really love this game. This part sucks. So like think about it, when you boil it down, your favorite game like Bloodborne, right?
Yeah.
What's the shittiest part of Bloodborne? What part annoys you?
Fuck, that's actually a good question.
I'll tell you mine.
What?
The ending, the meat circus of Psychonauts. that level always annoyed me. Although it annoys me less as an adult because like I was playing that recently when I platinumed it when it came out on the PS2 Classics for PS4, and like it's still really annoying. Don't get me wrong, but I remember when I first played that game, it was a lot worse.
Well,
But the thing about it is, they want you to utilize like your abilities, but they never telegraph it. They never tell you like, oh, this ability will be good for this. They just want you to just know that.
No, you just want you to know it. That's bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't really remember the meat circus shit.
It's at the very end where you go into like Oleander's like fucking brain. He's chasing around a bunny.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
It's like young Oleander. You have to protect him and his stupid bunny. And then also it's mixed in with like Raz's own shit. Because like
okay, yeah, I remember it now.
It's bad. So yeah, that part always annoys me. There's just
I now it clicked in my mind what I hate about Bloodborne.
oh yeah.
The rotted, fetid bullshit of the
Chalice Dungeons, yeah.
See, I like Chalice Dungeons, but when you start getting into the rotted, fetid shit, oh, fuck you.
So the Chalice Dungeons, for those that don't know, are like randomly generated dungeons.
Yeah. So when you get into the rotted, fetid, it's like basically just like different versions, and shit just gets harder. You have like basically a quarter of your health.
Yeah.
It's like you go into it with a quarter of your health, basically getting one shot by everything. And it's like, you get better gems, and that is kind of the end game of Bloodborne, trying to get good gems to like for your builds and stuff like that. Right. Which is fine, but it's ugh. I think back to because you actually do have to do some defiled ones for the story ones, like for the platinum. To get Yharnam, to go to fight Yharnam, the Thumerian queen. You have to do the defiled watchdog. I remember that shit. You remember that shit too, don't you?
Oh yes.
Yeah, you shit. Lord knows, I sherpered your ass through that platinum.
You did.
Yeah, so there was the defiled watchdog, defiled amygdala. Like, I'm gonna be honest, with how rusty I am now, ooh, that shit ain't happening. Like I don't even know if I'd be able to do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like back then when I was sherping you through it, dude, I was a god. Like, I was so fucking good at that game. Ooh, it's over with now. I'm old.
It's funny. I was thinking about a few others. There is a mission in, I think, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I think it's Vice City, where you have to pilot like an RC helicopter that has like a bomb on it.
I feel like I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And it is just the most like squirrely, sensitive. Like any slight bump will destroy it, and the controls like fucking suck. It's like so bad. Like, I love that game, but it sucks. You know.
Now, let me see if there's anything like. This is something we could probably go for a while on, if we just think about like the games we like, and see if I can think of something for Red Dead Redemption 2.
Just playing that game.
I'll be the first to say the controls are dog shit. I'll be the first to say.
Yeah.
And I love that game, but I will always admit that the controls are a little ass.
It's I'm thinking now because my favorite series being Zelda. There's several. Especially the older you go, the more bullshit there is in Zelda games. So I actually just finished recently my 100% playthrough with Link's Awakening.
Yeah.
And like that game was great. Don't get me wrong, but some of those later dungeons are so like obtuse and like too non-linear. And like requires so much backtracking. Like I ended up 100% of the game in like a little less than 20 hours.
It's not bad.
And like I swear to God, probably at least 5 hours of that was in the last like 2 or 3 dungeons, because you're just like beating your head against the wall, like not sure of what you're doing. The game makes a few little like adjustments here and there from the original to help with that, but like yeah, it's still pretty fucking rough, dude.
Oh, easy one I can bring up is the way Monster Hunter World handles the story missions. and like for co-op based
Yeah,
shit.
that is annoying.
I mean, it's nothing like serious, but it's like it annoys me that I have to sit there. So, if you haven't heard me bring this up before, so the Monster Hunter World, what ends up happening is so with the story missions. It's not even a fucking problem for me now, but it's still something that annoyed me at the time. Is you have to go into the story assignments by yourself, get the cutscene, and then people can join you, or you have to fire an SOS flare. I think that's just dumb. Like, so why can't somebody just be in there with me? We get the same fucking cutscene, bam, call it a day. And I think you want to know how I know they could definitely do it?
How?
The final quest of Iceborne, it's a two for one. So you join one, right? You join this one where you fight Ruiner and Nergigante, and then jumps right into Shara, and you don't even have to leave. You legit watch the host player's cutscene.
Oh Lord!
It's like why couldn't this have been a thing? Like, why couldn't I have just always done this? Like, what?
Oh, I've got a good one. How could we forget the flood levels, like the library in Halo 1?
Ooh, shit. Shit. You know what? I try to forget that shit.
Let's just repress that memory.
Dude, I remember even in our like recent playthrough of that shit, like in the last like couple years that we did. How many years ago was that playthrough? It was like
Probably 3 or 4 years ago.
God damn, it feels like it was yesterday.
It must have been, well, no, because it had to be at least 3 or 4 years ago, because I was at my old house, and I've been in this apartment now for 3 years.
Yeah, so yeah, it had to be, okay, so yeah. Yeah, that, I even remember that just like fucking just killing me inside.
It was awful.
I was dying inside doing that level.
It's awful. And then, another thing, talking about, so, I mean, you know this, Borderlands 2, the Wildlife Preserve. Ugh. Ugh. Did I just trigger you?
When we talk about the Wildlife Preserve, you're talking about Hammerlock shit, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the Hammerlocks.
Oh no, the big game hunt. That's a whole other can of worms.
Oh.
I'm talking about the Wildlife Preserve, like with the fucking like invisible stalkers and shit.
Oh yeah.
That shit's annoying as hell.
Yeah.
But Hammerlock's big game hunt. That's a whole other can of worm. That's
a topic in itself.
God damn, that's
awful.
Everything.
That's everything I hate about Borderlands in one DLC.
Yeah, that shit was so bad.
And here's the thing: I've done everything in that fucking game, and so I did all the bullshit where it was like the random spawns and shit. Oh fuck!
It's funny because they ended up fixing this in the HD version, but the kind of the final like Triforce fragment gathering in Wind Waker.
Okay, yeah.
That shit's really annoying. A lot of people, it's funny because there are certain like Zelda things that a lot of people are annoyed by that I'm just not. So like
what? Like what do people get annoyed by?
So like a good example is the amount of time you have to spend when you're stuck as the wolf in Twilight Princess. Like when you're stuck as Wolf Link, you have to do these certain things in the overworld and find these like kind of like bugs. And there's kind of like challenges associated with getting them, but until you get them, you cannot turn back into regular Link.
Okay.
So a lot of people are very annoyed by that, and it just
that doesn't sound that annoying.
Never really bothered me, to be honest. It was never that big of a deal for me.
That's a game I never actually. I started playing that game, but I never beat it.
A lot of people start playing that game, and then they realize the tutorial is like 12 hours long, and then they put it down. They're like, by the time I'm starting to herd sheep in the beginning, I'm good. That's why.
It's funny. I think that's when I stopped playing.
No, that's right at the beginning. That the game has such a slow burn. I mean, that's why so many people. That's why when they come to Breath of the Wild, they just say, "Fuck it, here you are. You're out in the world now." Because Twilight Princess was the worst example of that, of the long tutorial. Skyward Sword was pretty bad about it.
I watched playthroughs of Skyward Sword. It did seem bad.
It's not as bad as Twilight Princess, but it still has that really like slow burn kind of opening, and that's why Breath of the Wild just let's take the training wheels off. Let's just let people go.
That's why it's my fucking favorite.
It's an excellent game.
Yeah.
That was actually something I was like, is there a part of Twilight Princess or of Breath of the Wild that I downright dislike?
I don't know if there is.
I'm not sure that there's anything that I downright dislike, any like particular section of it or mechanic of it that I straight up hate. But
I feel like if I thought about it enough, I'd probably find something. But I'm like,
there's the famous
nothing.
stuff like the Water Temple and Ocarina of Time. A lot of people dislike that. I'll say that I don't like in BioShock Infinite, which is another one of my favorite games. I always hate it whenever they put you in like these huge arenas where you're just fighting like, because in the first BioShock, throughout the entirety of the game, you maybe encounter like 150 enemies in the entire game.
Infinite's infinitely more enemies.
Yeah, in Infinite, there are times where they put you in these like enormous arenas with just like 50 enemies.
Yeah. Yep.
And the game just turns into a big shooter, and that shit was annoying. I looked up a few other examples here that just to jog my memory on some stuff. I actually forgot about this. That asteroid shooting in Dead Space. You remember that? There's a section in Dead Space where you have like this little mining laser and you have to like defend.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, you're right.
That shit was really annoying. I remember there was a trophy for doing that, or an achievement for doing that perfectly. And yeah, that was...
I'm not going to say this is a good game, but it also just annoyed me is Dead Space 3 going through the asteroid field, or the debris. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
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 I died a couple times.
Base building in Fallout 4. Oh my god, the Benevolent Leader achievement in Fallout 4. Holy shit. That was so bad.
I hated the base building.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan.
I despised it. Like, it was just like, fuck you. Like,
I was not a fan of it.
Faction shit in New Vegas.
Yeah. That shit did get pretty stupid.
It's a little dumb. I still think back to like randomly killing one dude in one of the DLCs, and I beat the DLC.
Yeah, and like Honest Hearts, I did something similar to that happen.
Yeah, it's like I was in the DLC for I think 3 minutes.
Yeah,
3 minutes of like that. It's like I walked in, killed the dude. It's like oh you fucked up. Go do this letter. Oh, credits roll. I'm like, what?
This is a good one. The original like Pokemon Red and Blue, fucking the Zubat cave, where like every like 5 steps, there's a fucking Zubat. Oh, it's bad, and it's like pretty lengthy. So like if you want to get through it without going through that shit, you have to buy just like 20 like repels.
Repels are like are like a fucking godsend.
God, what was it? One of the Assassin's Creed games, maybe it was Black Flag, I can't remember. The underwater like controls were so bad.
It had to be Black Flag. I think Black Flag was the first one that had underwater.
It's possible, yeah. So maybe it was Black Flag, but I just remember being so annoyed with its underwater controls that I made like a Facebook post just in pure rage. I was like, if I ever design a video game, there's going to be underwater mechanics just simply so that the underwater controls can be good. I just want to make a game that has good underwater controls. It cannot be this hard. For fuck's sake. Also, I don't know why I just thought of this because I'm just kind of racking my brain here. But we all know I love Banjo-Kazooie. We all know this. Lord. This is well documented.
You're gonna throw shade?
But yeah, at the end of Banjo-Kazooie, Gruntilda's quiz, always very annoying. Because I don't know if you remember or if you've ever beaten Banjo or anything, but
I've beaten Banjo, but I don't remember that shit, dude.
At the end of the game, right before you do like the final kind of confrontation with Gruntilda, there is a quiz that you have to do, and it's based on, I don't know if you remember her sister, who I think's name is Brentilda, like her sister that's like kind of littered throughout. She wears like a pink dress and she's all throughout the hub. Yeah. She will give you 3 like random facts about Grunty, and you think it's just kind of like flavor dialogue, but no, she's giving you the answers to this quiz that you don't know that you're gonna be taking at the end of the game. So it's like, I hope you remember that shit, motherfucker.
You stupid bitch.
Yeah, and by the way, the quiz is randomly generated.
Oh,
so
God.
you don't know which questions you're gonna get. So yeah, and sometimes it's like dumb shit. Like sometimes it's like just innocuous, like how many termites are on Mumbo's Mountain? You know, dumb shit like that.
Fuck that.
So yeah, I feel like I could just like pick apart like every game, thinking about it. God, even I mean, hell, in recent games, it's like shit. Go watch our Gears 4 playthrough. Go watch the last episode of our Gears 4 playthrough. The ending. It's like, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Borderlands 3, the ending.
Borderlands 3. Yeah, oh, God. Yeah. Anyway. I feel like I could go on and on and on, but I feel like we should just wrap this up before I start getting actually angry. Anyway, you got anything else you want to add before we put a bow on it this week, Todd?
I think that's about it, man.
Our half-assed Wing It episode.
Still got a solid 51 minutes now.
Hey, I gotta edit. I'm gonna edit stuff. Anyway, thanks for listening,
50-ish
guys.
50-ish minutes, no?
Yeah, 50-ish minutes. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. We'll catch you next week with hopefully an actual episode of this podcast with news and such. And you know, games too that we've been playing. But until then, get fucking dunked on. Bye.
See ya.
Hey there, thanks for checking out another fantastic Nerd Bourbon video. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, be sure to go ahead and subscribe, leave us a like, drop us a nice comment, or I guess a mean one if that's your prerogative. But until next time, get dunked on.